Shalom Ak, Alpha Akawith. Um, I'm new to YouTube, mostly do my thing on Facebook. My name is Yaikaba, Yahweh Daha. We're beginning an organization known as the Kohelet. The Kohelet will be an organization that governs its own people, an organization that secures its own household, its own marriage, um, its on food supply. We prepare to make our own food supply, our own crops, our own vegetables, our own security system, our own military that will protect our people. The government that is, as of today, we believe that we do not support it. We believe that we are the original children of Israel, but we also believe that it is time that the children of Israel take action in owning their own property, eating their own food, securing their own people, and policing our own people, governing our people judicially, executively, and legislatively. We are not um, rebels at all to the government system, but we are protectors of our people. And if the government system will not protect our people, then we will, and we have the right to under the Fifth Amendment, being under the Fifth Amendment, if we are citizens of the United States of America, then we have equal, and if we do have equal rights, and our rights to defend ourselves and our people and our families is also um, going to be utilized. We're going to be defending our people under the First Amendment because our religious practice or our religious practice under the scriptures that we believe in, which is the Bible, tells us that we are not to make any covenants the with our enemies and with their gods. Neither shall we make any covenants with their gods. That's one thing that everyone should know, that we are protected by that. And just as the false Jews, the pagan Jews that like to suck baby penises, are protected by the gods um, or by the First Amendment under their God, when they molest little children, we should be protected by the Most High under the First Amendment when we want to save our children, we want to liberate our children and teach our children the word and also discipline our children and also um, not be affiliated with your government because the scriptures prohibits it. So that's one of the things I wanted to go over. The other thing I wanted to go over is the house Negro. The house Negro um, is a very common Negro that exists among us today. We know him as a coon, Uncle Tom, um, uh, a hater of his own people, or any man that hates his own people or wants to separate from his own people because they fear their own people and they want to do some type of shine. The Most High says, "Do not boast." Um, I really uh, decided to go over this and give a little bit of history. Kohelet actually means congregation in the Hebrew tongue. I want to first of all go over that. Yaikaba means he who holds the heel, same as saying Jacob. Jacob is originally spelled Yad, Ayin, Kof, and Bath, and use the first two sounds in the Hebrew alphabet in order to make a word, and that spells and sounds out Yaikaba. So please allow me to go over this real quick about the house Negro. Do not affiliate yourself with the Kohelet. When we recruit, and you know you a house Negro, if you bow down to the will of the oppressor, do not affiliate yourself with the Kohelet. We don't have time for you. We need to uplift our people. We need to deliver our people from the captivity that they have been going through and get back into following the commandments of the Most High. We govern our own people when we become independent as a nation of people and get back to the point where we um, are people of power, people of the Most High, and not people that are in the bondage of our oppressor. To understand the mindset of the house Negro, we have to understand the mindset of slavery and of poverty. At the time, the master had already broken the slaves. The slaves that were in the transatlantic slave trade were broken. They were broken, being broken upon the ships. They were already breaking their minds, cutting people's heads off, and throwing many of them over the seas to be eaten by sharks when they were sick. Um, when they were taken, by the time they got here, they feared their master. And if there was ever a revolution, that person that was the leader of the revolution would suffer for each and every member that they have recruited in their revolution. So we have to understand that there is a large scale of a deprogramming that our people needs to be to go through. And the house nigga, the one who tries so hard to emulate their oppressor, is very common today. Many men are trying to walk over their own people in order to get to the place where they need to be. Because black people spend more than every man in the world. The black man in America is actually the only man that in America that has the potential to get himself out of the oppression that he is in, but he doesn't use it because he is not just physically oppressed and systematically oppressed, but he is mentally oppressed. In order for us to get out of the mental oppression, we have to first recognize who we are, where we came from, and we need to come to the point where we have no fear for our oppressor. And the main way that the oppressor have ruled us is through fear. They have played off of our poverty. They have played off of our oppression and ruled us in fear. So we need to be deprogrammed. We need to be um, um, cleansed. We need to be separated and free from the mindset and the intellect and the emotional content and the emotional connection that we have to fear. Only then will we be able to break the chains that the oppressor has been holding us in through oppression. Only then. I'll sooner or later, I'll be coming back and I'll be um, doing more lessons, and we'll be going over the Bible. We'll be going over the Quran. We'll be going over the Book of the Popes, which has the timeline of when the Jews were scattered. We'll be going over a lot of things, but we have to recognize our own deeds, our own destruction, our own mistakes in order for us to come out of the condition we are in today. The house Negro was the Negro who was made comfortable, was the Negro that the master fed good food to. The house Negro was the Negro that the master showed the most love to. The house Negro was the one that was able to rule over the people and didn't have to be oppressed, and he took that. And now today you have plenty of house Negro portraying the image of a field Negro in order to control the masses. Jay-Z is my prime example. He made a song called OJ, and the song sounded like he was trying to hip us up on game when really he was trying to keep us in the intellect and in the mindset to be governed by our oppressor. But first, he had to make us think he was on our side. The next song in the next album he'll be producing through another artist will be will be songs and albums that is going to keep us oppressed, distressed, and black. A byword, a proverb, and an astonishment. He's not going to tell us who we are and where we came from. He's not going to set us free. He's not going to make us understand what our principles are. It's not going to bring us salvation. Jigga is going to bring us destruction. And so will every rapper in the entertainment industry, because music is a message. If you look at Revelations chapter 16 and chapter 17, you'll see that frogs was being spoken out of the mouth of the beast, the dragon, the one with two horns, and the false prophet. And those frogs were identified as evil spirits. Why? Because an evil spirit, or a spirit period, is a message. Music is transferred through your ears. It is a message. What you listen to is a message. You're sending a message. A message is being sent to you, and that message is your God. When you recite that message, you are identifying that message or the messenger as your God. Bible says in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Then it goes back and says in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The words in which you create, which you pass, is the word that comes from your God. And whoever you accepted as your God will be who you're going to emulate when you speak, when you dress, and when you live your day-to-day life. That is your God. And what the house Negro did was he emulated the white man. And the white man was his God, is his God. It is him that put the liquor stores on our streets and put a black man over it. That black man was the house Negro. It was him that put the gun stores in our streets and may have put a black man over it. And that black man was our house Negro. It was him that gave us black entertainment and put black men over it. Those black men that make music that tells you to kill, steal, destroy, rape your women, abuse your women, and destroy your community, or destroy your people, destroy your nation, or destroy yourself. He's emulating the white man. He is emulating the white man. Why? Because it is our oppressor that wants our failure or desires our failure. We have to identify and digest knowledge and the exposition of our enemy. Shalom Apa Akawath, that is to say, peace, brothers and sisters. Be independent. Be a people of power, not a people of deception. The field Negroes. The house Negroes were divided, and the house Negroes were used to control, manipulate the masses, which were the field Negroes, to guide them, to shape them, and to make them think that they had somebody on their side. The house Negro was to be a mediator between the field Negroes and the master and the oppressor. Whatever the field Negroes did, the house Negro would pass that message to the oppressor. Whatever the field Negro says, the house Negro will pass that message to the oppressor. And still today, you have house Negroes that gives message from the oppressor and to the oppressor. That's your black entertainment. That's your politicians. That's your Barack Obamas. Shalom. Akawath. Peace, brothers and sisters.